What is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and this is a year in review 2017 video here. Special word according to me video. So we're gonna just quickly go over some of the things that happened into 2017 and throughout the world and something like that. We're gonna cross all genres, pop culture and everything like that, and politics and news and stuff like that. And then at the end, I'm gonna talk about my personal 2017 and I got a little in memoriam at the end of the video for you guys. And in the in memoriam, I didn't put everybody who passed away because obviously many of them did. But I think I'll put a link in the description box that you can go see everybody who did. That's everybody that's at least maybe who was of note that many people would know. Of course, obviously we lost tons of people, with all of the shootings and everything like that. But this is kind of like more on the celebrity type level. So that's what we're doing there. And speaking of the shootings, let's start there. Let's get maybe some of all of the unfortunate things out of the way. It actually started off at the beginning of the year. There was a shooting at a Florida airport, and that gets started off one of the deadliest years when it comes to mass shootings ever. And it was just tragic. And then of course, we had all of the shooting in Las Vegas, and then also the shooting at the church in San Antonio, and and then that also was all of this tragic, and this led to some debate on the gun control issue, and finally like that. So we are definitely in a point where it is, it's at a point that we really do need to think about, gun control and making gun control laws and having serious restrictions on gun control. I talked about it in my gun control video, which you guys may have already seen. If you didn't, I'll put a thing up so that you can go and check it out. But yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. So and it was just there were over 300 mass shootings, and now mass shooting is something that is considered to be when I think it was more than two people are shot, or more than two people are shot in a public place. I believe that's what it is. Once again, I talked about it in my gun control video. So, but yeah, and also there were that kind of leads into the suicide bomber in Manchester, England, and during an Ariana Grande concert, and there were other terrorist attacks in London and throughout the world, and it's just we're at a point where it's just there seems to be a lot of senseless violence and just attacks for no reason, and it's unfortunate. And this seemed to be one of the worst years for that. It really did. And hopefully here in the U.S. we can get in control of our gun laws and things like that, and make sure that we make the United States a more safer place, so that if somebody wants to go to a concert, they don't feel as if they don't have to worry about getting shot. And hopefully as a world we can get rid of these terrorists, so that you can go to a concert and not have to worry about being blown up. And so hopefully we can do all of that and make this world a better place. And while I'm talking about that, shout out to Ariana Grande. She did when this happened. She put on a concert in Manchester, England, for the victims, and and got a lot of her fellow musicians to do the concert with her. So shout out to her. She did a great job with all of that. So definitely want to give her props on that. Another bad thing was this Charlottesville rally that happened, and it seemingly just tore this, continues to tear this country apart. I said, last year when Donald Trump won the presidency, that I was afraid that things like things like this would happen. That's what I was afraid of, and it did, and it happened. Because he didn't like revoke, he didn't condemn the scene from the David Duke, the guy he endorsed him, and he didn't condemn that. And I went looking to see, because I was wondering, did someone ever, a candidate that did it? And actually, I wanted to know, what did the Ku Klux Klan ever endorse the president? They did. They endorsed many presidents, but from what I saw, most of the presidents, the Ku Klux Klan endorsed Ronald Reagan. He condemned it, damnation it, all of that. But Trump didn't, and I don't know why. It's very easy to say that, that he agrees with their ideology and everything like that, but we all know who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a guy, when he wants something, he gets it, and he goes after it. And if he thought that playing up to the lowest, that low of a thing, there's no doubt he wouldn't, if he felt like that or not, he would be okay with it. That's why he said the whole thing after the Charlottesville rally. He said the whole thing about being both sides. He wants to keep his people, and he's gonna cater to the people. Nobody knows. People wants to make opinions, and that's totally fine. I don't know what's in his heart and in his mind, so I don't know. But doesn't look good. Not a good look, at least. And then it happened in the Charlottesville, and then that led to riots that entire, I think it was that weekend, and unfortunately, a woman named Heather Heyer was run over, doing it by white nationalists in that rally, and it's just a sad day. I talked about Trump. Let's go into that. We had the Trump inauguration, right? And he was inaugurated, took over for President Barack Obama, and a little bit of controversy, although let's face it, wasn't a controversy. All saying that his was the most attended inauguration of all time, and then there were pictures of showing Obama's inauguration in 08, and then his 09 actually, his in 09, and his earlier this year, and it wasn't even close. So, and that seemed to be a big thing with our president. Not very so cool. So, and then his first duty, his first thing in office, first thing he did when he got in office was he made a travel ban, which was basically, everybody said was a Muslim ban. The travel ban was all, the Muslim people from Muslim countries, and that started another shitstorm, so to speak. And a lot of protests at airports around the country and things like that. And this seemed to be one of the, I'm actually kind of surprised. We talked about, there was this whole thing about, some of the big things. And when I was doing this, I was actually looking for going through all of the things that I would talk about during this video and find out what were some of the things and of the year 2017. I was surprised that actually like protests were not big thing, because this seemingly was the year of the protests. Whether it was the protests on Donald Trump, whether it was the protests of the social injustice during the national anthem by NFL players, whether it was a lot of other protests, having to do with some of the other sexual assault stuff and everything like that. So it was definitely a lot of protests. I'm surprised that wasn't more prominent doing all some of the other things that I was reading throughout the year. But like you said, the Trump ban led to a lot of protests at airports and like that. And one of the protests, I think, was even a women's march after Trump was elected. A lot of women felt hurt. They felt hurt. They felt hurt because they couldn't believe that someone who was caught on tape saying that he, basically saying grabbed them by the, he was saying that grabbed them by the, and then a lot of people, and he had been accused of sexual assault by a lot of women, and it felt hurt because he still won, and also the person that he had beat was not. It was another woman. It was a woman. And I'm sure that many people, myself included, we would have liked to have seen a woman president. I think anything you saw with Obama, for me, I think one of the things that changed for me was that it was needed to see something different. Having 8 years of a relatively young, he's in his 40s, but a relatively young black man, half black, half white man, was a good thing, I think, for this country to see. And it would have been good to see have a woman be president. We had 43 presidents of, old white men, basically, and listen, I'm not saying that an old white man can't be, a good president or shouldn't try, but I kind of think that this, as this war evolves, my opinion is that and I think a lot of people's opinion is that you definitely need something different. That's one reason why I wasn't for Bernie Sanders. He was just another older white man, and he had some other off views. He was okay with legalizing drugs and everything like that, and I wasn't about that. No, but so you just see, maybe a woman try, and so who knows? But the women were upset by all of this, and they did a women's march right after this, and they stood up and they marched for on Washington and a lot of other places as well. So that was something that happened as well. That happened as well. A lot of big things, and then we had the hurricanes, which was just awful. We had the hurricanes. We had Hurricane Irma that hit Florida. We had Hurricane Harvey that hit Texas and a little bit of Louisiana, and we had Maria that had hit the Caribbean. And Yeah, a lot of people lost a lot of things. These are some of the strongest hurricanes that there ever was, and it was just. I mean, what else could you say about it? I mean, people lost the people lost so many stuff in Harvey and Maria just seemingly just tore up the Caribbean, and Puerto Rico was. I mean, I don't even know if Puerto Rico even has power. I don't even know if they still have power. And it was that bad where they were like talking about, they were gonna be out of power for a long time, and that's just something that it's frustrating to see that. And of course, we had our president Donald Trump and go to Puerto Rico and start throwing out paper towels. And I don't know. I'm not sure what he was doing there, but okay. And yeah, he was seemingly more worried about the NFL protests than he was people of Puerto Rico. And I think if anything happened, I think this totally proved, at least to me, that they really should go ahead and make Puerto Rico the 51st state, because it seems like that's that's one of the big problems, is that it's not a state, so it wasn't like we couldn't give them stuff or anything. I'm not sure. They're a territory, but they really need to have statehood, something like that. I think they even. I remember watching the show with Kamal Bell. He went to Puerto Rico, and I think one of the head guys was saying like they vote for stuff when it comes to the United States, but they don't get like some of the advantages from being in the United States. So they vote for the president and everything, but they don't do anything else. I don't know. So, but I think one of the big things that J.J. Watt, he became him from football player. He's a superstar, and I think he became he crossed over and became more than just a football superstar. He became a celebrity, a full-blown celebrity with everything he did and everything like that. Everybody donated to his charities. Jimmy Fallon and things, raised a lot of money for the city of Houston. So that's one of the things that one of the things that helped out there. So that's really, really, really good, and I think that it's going to be a big thing in the future for J.J. Watt, and I think with other things as well. So I hope a lot of people are getting better in all those places in Texas and the southern coast over there in Florida and of course in the Caribbean. So let's hopefully that's going to happen as well. And of course, I'm talking about some of the unfortunately bad things to happen this year. Has been this most recent trend of the past month and a half. The sexual assault scandals that have come across the world. In fact, as of this recording, because you guys have seen this at a later time, but this has been recorded when it's now jumped into the sports world, as 3 people from the NFL Network, Marshall Faulk, Ike Taylor, and Heath Evans, have been suspended due to a lawsuit. A person that made a lawsuit that someone came out with, claiming they had some inappropriate sexual behavior with her. So and this all started with Harvey Weinstein, and apparently he had been sexually harassing, assaulting, maybe even raping women for years, and holding like the careers above them and everything like that. And it was just, it led to the hashtag Me Too movement, I should say, excuse me. And everybody has just been, and it's just been coming left and right, and a lot of big name guys, Kevin Spacey, um, Senator Al Franken, a couple other senators, Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose, a lot of other people have been, have been like taken down from this. Some people have been alleged, but they are fighting it. Some Ryan Seacrest is announced. Jeremy Piven has said that he didn't do anything. So there are some people who are fighting the claims, but there are some who are not. Who have there's some, not saying I don't say fight. They are. Well, I think they will admit to some things, but they're saying that some other things are not true. Like Al Franken, when Al Franken resigned from the Senate, he said that there were some things that were true, but most were not. He admits the thing with Leanne Tweeden. And apparently now, there's even something like that. Well, maybe that one, what that was that necessarily wasn't. It wasn't about. It was political. It was political driven. It wasn't about me. No, this is allegedly. I don't want to, say that this wasn't the way that she felt. Maybe she did, but I was reading some things on Twitter, things like that. And there is an alleged theory out there that this thing from Leanne Tweeden talking about Senator Al Franken wasn't necessarily the fact. It wasn't about her wanting to have closure or an apology or something like that from Al Franken. Her feeling actually violated. It was about politically driven, trying to get Al Franken off the Senate, because Al Franken, I believe, leads the ethics division of the Senate or something like that. He was a part of that. So that's what this theory is now about. That she's like on the more conservative side, and so trying to help them out so that they can get that Senate seat in Minnesota. So again, like I said, I don't know. It's just a theory. I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm not saying that that she lied or nothing like that. Or that she used or anything. I'm not saying that. But that's not. I don't want to make sure that that's not saying anything like that. But I'm just saying that's a theory that's out there. And now like I said, mentioned right now, there's the NFL Network thing out there with it, and it's going to continue now, because the one thing that this has happened is that this is now embraced people to come out and share their story, which it is not a bad thing. I think the more we can shed light on the fact that this happens and shed light on the reasons why women don't come forward in the first place, and with all of this, and even with men and everything like that. Because Terry Crews, he had a story as well, and his story is kind of more based on it's more racially based than it is shamed and everything like that, because it was a white guy who was doing this to him, and then he becomes the big angry black guy. He doesn't get work, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that one. But so the more that this comes out, hopefully this does lead to change, and people are not, in all of these cases, these were guys, seemingly, taking them their pants and showing them their penis and whacking off in front of them, and I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Yeah, so the Harvey Weinstein stuff leading to the Me Too movement, and leading them to be called Times People of the Year is definitely a big news story of 2017. So now let's talk about some of the other stories. Some of the other stories that are not so heavy, so to speak. Some kind of crazy ones, some other ones as well. Let's start off with the Oscars. I watched the Oscars, and the Oscars was again a good show. Jimmy Kimmel did a good job hosting, and then all the way up until the final end, when there's a rumor, there's a conspiracy theory that when Marissa Tomei won her Oscar for My Cousin Vinny, that the guy who was Jack Palance, who was an older gentleman at the time, he couldn't necessarily read it or anything like that, so he just said the first name that he could remember, which was Marissa Tomei. He's someone else. That's been the conspiracy theory with that. And that conspiracy theory happens right in front of your face, right? So apparently, what went down, and you know the story, but I'm gonna tell it just in case you forget. Just in case you forgot. So the people, it's Faye Dunaway and what's his face, Warren Beatty. They are, they're doing the Best Picture, and so they do the whole thing, the pending nominees, and then the winner is, and they open the thing, and you can see Warren Beatty is like, what the hell? I don't know what to do, and he's laughing and everything like that, and then Faye Dunaway just says, fuck it. La La Land. And then, because the card, apparently the card said Emma Stone, La La Land. Emma Stone won Best Actress for La La Land. And there's two cards. There's a card on there's a card on the right hand side, there's a card on the left hand side. And they take the card from the thing. So they took the card from one side and the other card was not removed. So they Warren and Faye got that one, and then they're up there, and you can see like the commotion in the back. I don't know what's going on and everything like that. And they're going, and the people are doing the La La Land, doing their speeches, and then one guy says, "We lost, by the way." And then the other guy comes, "No, yeah, we lost." Moonlight, no, this is not a joke. And he shows the card. Moonlight win, and then Moonlight, and they can't believe it. And it was one fantastic clusterfuck. I mean, if you want to know the definition of clusterfuck, it is the 2017 Oscar Best Picture. Oh man. Oh. This was great, y'all. I mean, this was something. Oh. That was a good one. That was a damn good one, man. Oh, that's one really hell of a story. And then how about we have an American becoming a royal. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are engaged and to be married next year, and so that is something special, and I think that's really we have to see. I think that she has to she has to quit her job on Suits, and I don't know if Suits is still even being made, but yeah, she has to quit her job there because become a worker. I don't think the Royals can work, but yeah, that's something very interesting. That was a very thing to hear. I know we had been hearing all the things about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle dating. I don't think any of us really ever thought that they would ever go that far, but they did, and I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And the only thing it does is that it does give, I think, maybe some. It does give people some underappreciated expectations about saying, well, if she can get a prince, I can't. No. This is a once in a lifetime thing. This probably is never going to happen again. But that would be. But it's interesting to see. Congratulations to both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And a very weird story as well was the man dragged off the United Airlines plane. And this was a weird story. I think, from my recollection, I think I can remember this. So there was a doctor who needed to get back home because he had patients waiting. But the United Airlines plane was overbooked. So they wanted to take him off the plane so that some of the other pilots or other airlines people, United Airlines people, could fly with the plane, right? Because that's what they do. But he said, no. Why do I have to leave? I have a thing to do. And so apparently they can do this. They can. They ask, but apparently they don't have to ask. They can just take you off the plane if they want to, and you have to leave. Now usually they will offer you something like miles or money or something like that, a refund for your flight or something like that. And I think they even did that with him. But he says that no, he's a doctor. He needed to get back to his patient. So what they did was that they went ahead and they dragged him off the plane. And they kind of just dragged him off, and I think this was maybe possibly a two wrongs don't make a right type thing, possibly. I think what happened here was that yes, they have the right to kick you off the plane, and you probably should just go ahead and be pissed about it, hate it, whatever, but get off the plane. But there's no reason for them to be dragging people off the plane like that. I mean, I believe it was like the airline police arrest him, do that, take him off in handcuffs, at least we can walk off. But to drag him off like that, I think it was a bad look for United Airlines and everything like that. But that was a strange story this year. Were any of y'all into the fidget spinner? No, I wasn't either. So that was something this year. Something also that happened this year was the total solar eclipse. That was a big thing. It was just the first time in forever where there was a total solar eclipse, and everybody wanted to be a part of it. There was live streams. I was sitting here, and there was live streams on all but the about this, and they were going back and forth from place to place. There was, I forget what it's called, but it's like a line, and they had the line, so they had cameras. Because other places wouldn't get the full in this country. Like here in Chicago, we wouldn't get a total solar. We would get like 90% of it. But down south, I think it was Carbondale. Carbondale got the full 100% total solar eclipse. So they were down there and there was a line that went through there, and it was like some in Oregon and there's some in Carolina, a lot of places, and it was amazing to see. Everybody was so down. You had to have these glasses to watch it, because apparently if you watch the thing, you can hurt your eyes and make you go blind and everything like that. So it was definitely a big story this year. One of the biggest stories of 2017, the total solar eclipse. A lot of people got into it this year, and I think the unfortunate thing is that there's not going to be a lot of us around when it comes around again, because then it comes around again like in 70 years. So maybe young babies, but the young babies ain't going to remember this. So we also had some very interesting choices for sexiest man and sexiest woman of the year. From People Magazine does it annually. Sexiest Man Alive. They picked Blake Shelton. Yeah, okay. Maxims does it again every year. Sexiest woman, hottest woman. The hot one on the list, number one on the list, Hailey Baldwin. Yeah, okay. So obviously the biggest song of the year was Despacito. And well, I can't play it for you, so pause it, search it up, open another tab, search it up, play it. If you haven't heard it, you should have heard it. If you haven't heard it, I don't know where the hell you've been. Play it, come back to me, because I can't play it. If you are like me, this was one big hell of a year for Big Brother fans. If you're a Big Brother fan, and I was, this was kind of amazing. This was kind of like a big thing. You know, they were, you know, they brought back Paul from last year, and Paul, he pretty much dominated the entire season. Russell Haynes style from Survivor, not to win, which was sad, but it was also amazing that it did like that. I think two things come from that. I think one, you can't try to move the pieces the way it did. You know, what he did was that he did things that I think were unnecessary. Which, you know, he said things and he did things that was unnecessary, and I think that's what turned off a lot of people. I think one of the reasons why Derek was so dominant at the way he played the game was that he didn't do things that was unnecessary. He just did things that made sure he got him to the next thing. Paul did things that were unnecessary for some reason, and then he didn't even own it. I don't think he would, if he would have owned it in the final, because he just didn't own it. He still was like, yes. But if he would have owned it, I'm not sure if he would have won. It seemed like to be a thing. It was a bitter jury because of the way he played. So I think that's one thing. That's one thing that comes from that. And I think another thing that comes from that is that if you are a new player, and they bring back a veteran, they need to get rid of them immediately. Why are you keeping them around? Get rid of them immediately. And listen, and this was my first time getting the CBS All Access stuff, and having access to the things, the live streams on the end, the everything like that, whatever the hell they're called. So I was able to I was not only able to watch the TV stuff, but I was able to watch the stuff live, streamed live on the internet. And I gotta say, seemingly from day one, those guys were up Paul's behind. They were. And the interesting thing is, and I remember this plain and simple, they were having a conversation about 2016, right? They were having a conversation about what happened then, and they were talking about how he didn't win last year, right? And they were talking about that, and for everybody, Mark, Elena, Jessica. I don't know if Cowboy was there, but basically those people, what's her face, Dominique, all of those guys, right? They were like, you vote for the best player. You vote for the best player, right? And then they come around, Mark and Elena come around and then don't vote. They don't they don't vote for the best player. So it was a great season, a very interesting season. It's going to be very interesting to see the Celebrity Big Brother. That's going to be interesting to kind of watch. I still have the All Access stuff, so I'm gonna keep that, something like that, and then we'll see if I want to do it next season. Because the reason why I got the All Access this season was because of for the second time in 4 years, we had a big storm on premiere night. And what the fuck CBS likes to do here in Chicago is they like to interrupt the damn show to talk about storms that's 100 miles away from Chicago. And they don't even do the thing, they don't even do the thing where, because at least what you can do is at least put it in the corner. Put the show in the corner with the sound on, and then do the map. And then when they go to commercial, come back and then talk about it. And go back to the show. Do that. They don't even do that. They just interrupt you. And so I signed up hoping that I could maybe get the show streamed on the internet. But I didn't, and then I went ahead and I kept it. And I went ahead and I watched it. I signed up for the free trial. So then I said, okay, so I go ahead and I put a free trial. And I was going to, get rid of it. But there were some things on that first week. In particular, Jessica and Elena's very sex talk. They were very open. A lot of talk about sex and Elena's breasts and everything. And so that really made me want to keep it. Because there's more talk about it. So now I have it. So we'll see about next season whether I keep it or not. Really, I'm not one that thinks that I need to watch everything. To get the feeds. I don't need to watch the feeds to get the gist of what's going on. Even though they like to, the producers like to tell their story and turn things around, and you don't see everything. I don't need to see everything. It's between Big Brother After Dark and everything like that. So, although who knows now if I can actually, not since I've started with the feeds, who knows if I can go back and not watch these, but we will see. So let's get into a little bit of sports here as we come towards the end of this video. The Golden State Warriors, for the third consecutive year, the Warriors and the Cavaliers met in the NBA Finals. The Warriors won again because they had Kevin Durant, and they won in pretty easy fashion. And I was happy to see, the stupidity of some people bringing up the whole, Jordan, LeBron James comparison once again. Made me root very, very hard for the Warriors, and I will continue to root. And I really don't want to. I don't want to root against LeBron James because he is great. He is the second greatest basketball player to ever play. I think there's no doubt about it. But with all that being said, stop comparing him to Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan there's so many things that Mike did that LeBron James doesn't do. More than the things that LeBron James doesn't do that Mike didn't do. So I just think this thing, if we can get away from that stupidity of comparing him to Michael Jordan, or even thinking that he's better than Michael, because he's not. If we can just get away from that and sit back and just enjoy what we see from LeBron James, I think it would make a lot better choice for all of us. But let's not get into the stupidity of comparing them. That's just ridiculous. But so I rooted hard for the Warriors. They won out, and it's I believe it's 4-1. And they've come back, and now this season they started off, again, they won 73 games a couple years ago. And then they had the good team last year, and this team, they're probably even better this year than they were in those 2 years. So there is a dynasty in Golden State, and let's sit back and watch the greatest shooter of all time, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters of all time in Klay Thompson, one of the greatest scorers of all time in Kevin Durant, and maybe one of the great coaches we're ever going to see with Steve Kerr. So let's sit back and enjoy that. Obviously, in baseball terms, last year my team, the Chicago Cubs, broke a curse, and this year another team broke a kind of a curse. I don't know if they really call it a curse, but he broke a curse, and it was Houston Astros. They finally won a World Series. Gave Houston, after everything they went through with Hurricane Harvey, they gave them something to cheer about. There was a great World Series, a 7-game World Series. Some of those games were incredible throughout the World Series that Houston played. And shout out to them. They did an excellent job. They made that trade for Justin Verlander. I think that put them over the edge into becoming a winner. So definitely great job by the Houston Astros winning the World Series. Shout out to the Pittsburgh Penguins, back-to-back champions for the first time in the hockey league in a long time. Good shout out for them. I don't watch hockey, so that's it. That's my comment on that. But then let's get to the football, right? We got to get to that Super Bowl, right? The 28-3. And once again, we had this thought, again, I was rooting for the Atlanta Falcons because once again we want to get into this narrative of greatest ever, and we can do this, but there's no way, and I've talked about this. There's no way that Tom Brady is a better quarterback than Peyton Manning. Just because he has more rings doesn't mean he's better. It is not. The eye test tells you that, but because he's got now he would have had. They already said something because he had 4 rings, so him getting a 5th ring would have just. Some people were talking about is this a no-brainer, and that's not the fact. So I was rooting hard for Atlanta Falcons, and they were up 28-3. I thought this would be good. You would lose 3. He would have lost 3 Super Bowls. You would have lost 3 Super Bowls. But he made him and the Patriots. They came back. They did a fantastic comeback, put it to overtime, and then this overtime drove right down the field, scored a touchdown. Let's give them all the credit in the world. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. I think Tom Brady is the 2nd greatest quarterback of all time. He's not better than Peyton Manning. I talked about it in my point blank period discussion video. So, but yeah, there's just, you're an idiot. You're an idiot thinking any other way. So, well, I shouldn't say that. You're not an idiot. It's your opinion. You're just wrong. You're not an idiot. You're just wrong. I apologize for calling anybody out there an idiot who thinks Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. You're just wrong. But yeah, the Super Bowl was awesome, and it's one for the ages. That's not the greatest because I don't know if that's the greatest. To have a great comeback, a great finish, great Super Bowl. Not the greatest Super Bowl because I think the greatest Super Bowl should be back and forth action. And something like that, coming down to the wire. I think maybe that's what a great Super Bowl should be. But nevertheless, still one of the best Super Bowls in the world. Perhaps the biggest sporting event this year was Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor coming from MMA into the boxing world to fight Floyd Mayweather. Floyd's final fight. And again, I didn't watch it. I wasn't a part. I didn't I kind of had a rooting interest in Mayweather. I'm kind of surprised because when Pacquiao and Mayweather came about, there was a lot of hate against Mayweather, and this was kind of, I think this was kind of because of the most recent. It had been very recent since Floyd Mayweather had actually, I think he had actually even done some jail time for, I think maybe for domestic violence, something like that. So there were all these people on their high horses, rooting for Pacquiao because of what Mayweather did, not realizing that Manny Pacquiao couldn't be described as a great person either, per se, if you wanted to look at it that way, because he's the one, he doesn't think gay people should be married and doesn't have any rights or anything like that. Being gay is a sin. So you're telling me you're gonna root for a person who doesn't believe in gay people's rights, rather than a person who does, who hit his girlfriend or his wife or someone like that, right? So that's how you're gonna choose. So I was rooting that night for Mayweather, and I thought that's what's gonna happen this time, but that actually didn't happen. There were some people that were going that route. They were definitely rooting. I think they definitely were rooting for Mayweather, but rooting for McGregor for. But I think a lot of other people they stayed neutral, or if they picked McGregor, it wasn't because they didn't go down that route of someone who had rooting against Mayweather, not necessarily for McGregor. So I was happy to see that. I accurately predicted that Mayweather would win in the 10th round with a TKO, and that's what happened. That's unbelievable that happened. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's me, boy. That's what I did. So yeah, that was incredible. So that's probably the biggest sports story of 2017. And then of course, I got to have to go into this because I'm a huge WWE fan. WWE had a pretty good year, 2017. A lot of surprises, a lot of good things. A lot of people got better. I think a lot of great matches, a lot of great stuff. A lot of other weird, crazy stuff as well. I did a WWE awards video that you can check out as well. So definitely a lot of things in world of wrestling that was great. We lost a lot of people as well. Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jimmy Snuka, and things like that. So, but yeah, I think when it comes to WWE, this year was pretty darn good. I think, but it's still with the talent that they have, it can be better. The writing needs to be better. They need to do some other things. Again, I still think they need to get rid of the that brand split. I think that's or at least make the split differently. Don't make it it's a SmackDown roster and a Raw roster. Make it so that there are certain things that are put on SmackDown, certain things that put on Raw. So maybe the Raw, Raw gives you more of the maybe some of the top top 4 or 5 storylines of the WWE. If you want, maybe like the So maybe, and then maybe SmackDown will give you more of the give you more of the mano a mano matches. You know what I mean? So basically what I'm trying to say is that so if so like for instance, let's talk about this. Like the Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns are kind of in this feud. So is the Bar and Rollins and Ambrose, right? So they would be on it. So Rollins and Ambrose would wrestle. So would the Bar. So Sheamus and the Bar. But they wouldn't wrestle each other. They would wrestle the jobbers. something like that. Then maybe you would have same thing like Samoa Joe would wrestle, a jobber, same thing, and maybe I should say an actual jobber because I don't think 3 hours of that, but maybe someone lower on the totem pole. So as Scott Keith, who was a wrestling reviewer, would say, a jobber to the stars. A Heath Slater, a Rhino, a Kurt Hawkins, things like that. So maybe that's how you would do. And then on SmackDown would be more the mano a mano matches, where you would have maybe like maybe you'd have Sami Zayn versus you'd have Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke or something like that on that show, so that just try to make it up, but they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do it. So whatever it is, I think it was a good. I still think it was maybe a good year for WWE. We'll see what 2018 brings. It was also a good year for the movies. Justice League, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Wonder Woman, Guardians of the Galaxy, The Fast and Furious 8. These are all movies that I saw this year, and all of them were damn good. You can go and check all of my reviews out on my channel for this year. So, but yes, they were really, really good this year, and I really, this was a great year, I think, for the superhero movies, superhero genre. I would like to see these guys get some credit, particularly Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, I think, in my opinion, was the best, movie of 2017 when it comes to superheroes. I would like to see it get some credit at the Oscars. I don't think it will, though, unfortunately. But that's okay, because as long as the Avengers: Infinity War gets nominated and wins at the 2019 Oscars, then that's all I would care about. Otherwise, definitely a great year for movies. Finally, as we get ready to wrap this up, I know this has been a long one. Thank you guys for staying this long and watching this. I truly appreciate it. You just had this on in the background as white noise when you're cleaning or something like that. I think that's the best way probably to listen to this watch this video. From my personal 2017 was, it had some highs and some lows. It usually started off with a low. I lost my grandmother. So back in January, and that was very tough. I thought I could be strong. I had been preparing myself for this for her passing for years. But and I thought I was strong, but when I got to that funeral, I saw her in that casket. I wasn't able to control myself. I lost it. And I kind of feel better. I think I needed to be strong for my mother. I wanted to be strong for my mother, and I couldn't be strong for her, and that kind of upset me. So. Yeah, then there was that, and then I continued on in school for the most part, but but with some of the things I did, and particularly with this channel, because one of the things I wanted to do was I started off saying that I wanted to get better. I started to get better. And last year with this, and I wanted to do videos, and I wanted to do reaction videos, and I wanted to, because I had been watching Tyrone Magnus, and that's who I don't know. I think I came across his channel and I started to watch his channel, and I look, and he did a series of videos about how to do started with YouTube, and they give advice on that. So I kind of made a point where I was thinking, because the school I was going to, I wasn't really interested in doing that anymore at that school, doing graphic design really, and really I kind of wanted to do the thing where I wouldn't have to get up early, and I wouldn't have to go to a job and have a boss or anything like that, where I can get up, sit down, turn on my computer, and do a reaction video, do a try not to laugh challenge, do a the word according to me video, do something like that where I can sit down, do that. Or if I could go on to on my PlayStation and turn on my PlayStation and play video games, or go onto Twitch and do that. If I could do that, and people are doing that and making a living off of it. So why can't I, right? So that's what I did, but I didn't have the equipment so early. So last year, so earlier this year, I went and I got a desktop computer. I got the software I needed to edit. I got the software I needed to do reaction videos with. I got some of these, so I get some of that, and then I made sure that nothing was on this computer so that it wouldn't have any like movement. Because some of the videos I were doing early in my time, when I didn't have that, they were, it was like when I was trying to do reaction videos, the videos would just stop. And the videos they wouldn't move. It was like slow and clunky and everything like that. You always get a thing up there, CPU detected hardware or something like that, and it would be, it's whatever. So and it wouldn't, the videos just wouldn't work right. So I had to get a particular computer, desktop computer, to do it. And actually, I probably still need to do a couple other things. I still need to upgrade. Because I'm using right now the webcam that's on the came with the computer. But I think what I need to do is I need to get another computer to get another, to make it, because some people have said during my videos this year, you should upgrade your camera. So I think maybe next year that's something I would like to do. I would like to upgrade the camera and get another camera on the computer. Maybe it's even more. It's a better. Looks better than using the webcam it has. And maybe while I'm talking about that, I'll continue on the rest of the minute. But maybe I'll talk about some of the things I want to do. I want to do. I talked about being a gamer, so I want to do more video game reviews next year. I started that this year. I made them the word according to me, but I think now they're going to be a separate entity. Well, I'm just not going to have video game reviews so I'm going to have, that's going to be a separate thing. I also think that I do rapid reactions. I do two kind. I do the live kind, which happens during mostly it happens after the WWE pay-per-view events, but from time to time I will also do a live event. Like I just recently did a live event that didn't take too well for the college football playoff, and I would do live events for other big things as well. But there are other times when I would do rapid reactions to live events, but they would be recorded. 2018, that's going to end. But what I'm either going to do is that if I'm either going to do a live, true happen rapid reaction to a live event, and then that will be live. Or if I'm going to do a recorded review of something live, I think that's now going to be the word according to me. So because I think I did a quote unquote rapid reaction to the Ric Flair 30 for 30, and it turned out it wasn't so rapid, because it ended up being up on my page. It ended up being uploaded 4 or 5 hours later. How's that rapid? Rapid reaction means quick, right? A quick reaction to it. So it's either going to be I'm either going to do a review, or I'm going to do a live rapid reaction, a true rapid reaction. Now the recorded rapid reactions, the recorded rapid reactions are still going to be things that pop up that that I have like some of the rap reactions I did this year were I was on the Depths, Adam West and Hugh Hefner. So when things like that happen, those maybe tragedies or breaking news or something like that, maybe like if we hear something, you know, like if you know if I don't know, I can't think of it at the moment, but if something like that happened, I still would do a rapid reaction because people will still find out and still have thoughts on it, and it's not necessarily like when that type of rapid reaction is from when I find out, my quick reaction to when I find out. So not something that is something that's happening live. So that's something that happens like that. Also, I talked about this. I do a podcast and I upload the podcast up to YouTube as well. But I do a podcast about sports called The Game According to Me. It's on Spreaker. And I also upload it here to YouTube. I said that what I'm going to do is I'm going to do those in 2018 at the end of the month, reviewing something like that. Now I might do it from time to time where some breaking news happens or something goes down. I would do the podcast, but most of the time I'm going to try to do it at the end of the month. Because I said last year, when I started doing all of this and the podcast was part of it, I said that I was going to do a podcast every week, and I definitely did not happen. I don't think I did it at all. So rarely. But I'm definitely going to try to keep up with that promise as well. And I think there are other things too. I think if you have any ideas, I have a small community, and I appreciate those who are in my community. So if you have any ideas of what you would like to see me do, anything like that, please, the comment section is always open. You can always post any ideas, any thoughts you have, any videos you want me to react to, anything like that. I'm going to try to do more of those as well. I did some this year, but there was also some that I didn't do. But I'm trying to get to most of all of those. So please, if you want to see me do something, if you want to see me do and I have the ability to do it, I will try and do it for you, because, like I said, we're a small community, and I appreciate those that are here, and I want you guys to stay here with me, because if I do get to the place where I do, and I get, I get to the point, it's gonna be because of y'all that started with me. We started from the bottom, now we're here, right? Like whoever the guy says it, Drake or somebody. So I'm an old guy, so I don't know all this stuff. So yeah, so I definitely want that to happen. So please, like I said, you always have any thoughts, you can make sure to have them like that. And now, since we also have this new community tab, which I can like post things on there, I might start doing that too. Start posting things on there and then get your opinions on that. So definitely we'll see. So yeah, let me continue real quick, because this is getting a pretty long video. So yeah, and then later on this, so then I got to go to Exotica for my first time, and that was awesome. I got to meet some of the hottest women in the world. I got to experience some things that, honest with you, I never thought I was going to experience. I really hope I get to go again next year. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I do. So that's going to be good. I kind of had a good vacation because of a mix-up from the school, so I had a pretty vacation. But it was darn good sitting here having fun. I got a little peek into if things happen the way I like to see them happen, what my life could be, and it was pretty darn interesting. I wanted to move. I wanted to move, and but that did not happen because of money issues and things like that. And that's another thing. I got screwed this year on the money issue from my things and from my things. So I pissed off about that, but yeah, so things that happen. My love life is still non-existent. So that's that. Um, but yeah, I think all in all, like I said, there's a lot of ups and downs for 2017. Hopefully, a better 2018 for me. And and I hope that it becomes a 2018 for you, or 2018 for all of us out here in this country and this world. Let's treat each other better. Let's let's listen to each other. Let's agree to disagree. You don't have to hate each other. Don't have to quote unquote bully each other. Let's not. You know, let's be better people. Let's make this world. You say we want this world to be a better place. Let's look in what's inside us, and then let's put that out in the world so that hopefully that can happen. So here's to a new and better 2018. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Trip signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And let's remember those we lost in 2017.